remembers the first moment they heard about Cardano? Late nights, coffee brewing, my brain was buzzing. A blockchain built on science, not hype. Fast forward to today, and ADA is popping up in Tokyo cafes. Price forecasts are hitting a whopping $2.91, and even Charles Hoskinson's wild predictions are coming true. Stick around because the next 12 minutes or so, I'm going to be pulling back the curtain on Cardano's future, the myths that are dragging down ADA, and what's really happening when nerdy math meets real-world money. Let's go. So Cardano gains traction in Japan. ADA JPY becomes second largest pair at $121 million of volume. So, perhaps people are talking about Cardano ADA over in Tokyo over coffee. Let me know your, first recollection of when you first became aware of Cardano ADA. Let me know in the comments below. But the second largest ADA trading pair worldwide, Cardano ADA, is generating waves in Japan crypto market as the ADA JPY trading pair shot up to an amazing $121 million daily volume. Again, like Cardano ADA for me is one of the most sought after blockchain projects out there for retail investors. And look, psychology's got to play a big part in this, right? You look at the price of Bitcoin, right? And you forget about how many tokens there are, right? It's scarce. That's why Bitcoin's where it's at. It's got all the hype. It was the first. That's why it's there. But what I would say is, these lower price point tokens, because there's way more of them, does kind of get a lot of appeal for retail investors, because from a psychological point of view, would you rather have 1,000 of a coin or a percent of a coin? And I think that is kind of what it boils down to, rightly or wrongly. You just put all of the analytics to one side, and all of that, like, it really comes down to that kind of retail mindset. Let me know if you agree or disagree, but I think it's really big news to have Japan second biggest pair. Like, I just think that this is just really big news, and again, just sign of adoption. And if, or in my opinion, when we get a Cardano spot ETF, we're already seeing that there is a want, a need for investors. There's a market there, right, for a spot ETF. That's kind of the point that I'm poorly trying to articulate. So, seeing this stuff, seeing Grayscale, volume for their large cap fund for Cardano ADA being one of the highest, again, shows that there is a market there for it. I really, am looking forward to when some of these altcoin spot ETFs go live. And I do think they will. Obviously, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Treat this as an entertainment purposes only. Go away, get your own financial advisor and all that sort of stuff. Take what I say with a pinch of salt. It's just my opinion. But I'm so excited about when this all comes to fruition, right? When some of my predictions, more of my predictions come to fruition, because most of them are and have been for a very, very long time. So yeah, super excited. And again, I think these are really good signs, and that is why I am, highlighting them to you in these videos, right? Because I want you to be ahead of the curve. Cardano price prediction now. ADA set for a major boost as $2.91 target gains momentum. Obviously, we've had a pullback in the market, seeing new all-time highs for Bitcoin. Like, it's inevitable. I've been saying that the next 80 days, in my humble opinion, is, price discovery. Price is going to continue to go up until the Fed look to reduce interest rates. Trump, dropping a 50% tariff on the EU is the reason why we've pulled back. But we don't go up in straight lines. This is what I've been saying. It's gonna be volatile, but we're still gonna continue to grind to the upside. And look, we know Trump's playbook. I was talking about Trump's playbook before anybody knew what it was. I was talking about what he's doing. I was telling you it's posturing. I was telling you it was about getting deals. Nobody really wanted to listen to me back when I was saying it. I was saying the dips will people are for buying. I was saying that these are biggest opportunities that you're going to get. We're going to get a blow off top towards the end of the year going into 2026. Do people listen? Not so sure they do, but you need to be subscribed. You need to be following. You need to be in the free Discord. You need to be, at least getting pointers from us as to where you should be doing your research. Yeah, get some pointers on what research, you should be looking at doing. So then you can obviously, make your own minds up. You can, go get yourselves educated. You can go and take all of your knowledge and everything that you've learned and talk to a financial advisor about it. These are the sorts of things that we're trying to support people to be successful in the space, because nobody's doing it like we are. Absolutely nobody in this space. But look, let's get to the price prediction stuff here. Cardano ADA builds a bullish case with zero hacks, growing global volume, and breakout signals pointing towards a push past $1. Again, bullish news for Cardano ADA from 2017 to 2025 has never been hacked. And look, this all stems from other projects being very, very successful. And I don't like the distaste aspect of it, but there is a lot of people that need to have a bit of an understanding of what's going on in this space, right? And I want to give you some alpha now, so stay with me, right? Because this is pure alpha that you're not going to get to really know unless you're in the inner circles of crypto, right? And what I would say is, for example, 𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗠𝗡𝗧𝗏 has a bug around oracles. It's all publicized as a hack. It's not really a hack. It's a bug that was taken advantage of by bad actors. Now, off the back of it, right, 𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗡 is supposed to be decentralized. They've managed through the validator system, 116 or so validators have been able to block that wallet and stop that wallet from doing transactions. Bit like just in essence ignoring that wallet's transactions and stuff, so they can't do anything with the stolen funds. Right now, on one side, that's fantastic, but it does raise questions. It's centralized, right? Now, my and here's where the alpha is, right, for me, and I'm going to make some assessments based on my experience, and I'm just going to share them, and people can speculate on it. People can prove that there's no truth to it. I'm not saying that it is true. I'm just going to tell you my experience. So my experience running multiple validator pools with Nick and our dev team now as well, is that it's almost borderline impossible to get agreement from validators. So all these people that run all these stake pools, it's impossible, in my humble opinion, to get agreement, especially, at pace, fast, with all of these validators. Right now, I've worked, with the Cardano validators. We've worked with Harmony validators, Fractal. The list goes on, right? But what I'm trying to say to you is, unless they're incentivized or they're going to, gain something from it, it's impossible to get an agreement. It just is, right? And we see this everywhere in crypto. Try to get an agreement with anybody in crypto, as a bulk, as a group, is really, really difficult to do, right? Unless you're financially backed to the high hill, right? Or there's something to gain from it from one of these parties. So, for 𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗡 to be able to get this over the line, I'm just going to speculate and say, was there any payments made to these validators in order to do this? Because the foundation and 𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗡, they all benefit from nipping this in the bud, right? And this is one of the things that I like about Cardano, is it's decentralized. I would find it beyond belief if what 𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗡 has done, or the 𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗡 validators have done, just to put it out there, in my opinion. Again, treat this as speculation. Allegedly is going to be the word that I use. I don't want to get sued. If that happened on Cardano, I just don't think it can happen on Cardano. let's speculate in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. I just thought it was rather interesting. But, the biggest point here is Cardano hasn't been hacked. So there we go. That's kind of the point. Cardano founder says big crypto prediction come true. So Hoskinson has tweeted that predicted crypto adoption by large or the largest banks is coming true. It said top US banks looking into launching own stable coins as predicted, Charles Hoskinson says. So again, just really interesting here. We've got major US bank including JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Citigroup and Wells Fargo are reportedly exploring the possibility of jointly issuing a stable coin with discussions involving early warning services and operator of Zelle payment system and the clearing house. And the details go on here. So look, like this stuff's really interesting, right? And there is so much going on with all of this stuff. We do need to keep an eye on all the workings of the banks as predicted, as Charles has put here in his tweet. And ultimately, this is going to be huge for crypto because what a lot of people aren't realizing is stable coins are obviously a very, very big business. But what I would add to that is it's the onboarding process into crypto. So stable coins from the bank or from fiat to stable coin to crypto. So it's a big stepping stone. And I think it's going to be really, really cool to see what happens next. We got protesters accusing Trump of corruption as he hosted a crypto gala dinner. I mean, where are these people ever going to, give up on all this stuff? Like, who cares? They're all corrupt. It's not just Trump. Like they're all corrupt. I'm not even suggesting Trump is corrupt, but like I'm going to say that vast majority, 99.9% of politicians, government workers at president level, prime minister level, or just a little bit lower are corrupt. That's my opinion. So there's probably an element of truth to it, but who knows? We're not there. We're not part of it. We're not in the inner circle. But I do kind of think that Trump has been trying to tell everybody, the Trump family have been trying to tell everybody, buy an ETH, buy in Bitcoin. Like they've been saying it, right? So it's hard to really fault when you're saying that there's corruption, but all over Twitter they're telling you to go do this and go do that, and if you're not following it, whose fault is it? Apple, Tesla, NVIDIA shares trade as digital tokens on crypto exchange Kraken. So we're seeing this, it's not just the banks, it's the exchanges. The exchanges are tokenizing traditional assets now as well. So the banks are trying to get involved in the crypto aspect of things, and the crypto exchanges are trying to get involved in the traditional aspect of things. This is real world asset tokenization, right? This is everything that in 2020 Nick and myself were telling you was coming and was just down the road. So another prediction, as we said back in 2020, come into fruition from Cheeky Crypto. Pakistan creates digital asset authority to regulate crypto. Again, just more positivity. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.